Coronation Street appears to have responded to viewer complaints regarding Todd Grimshaw's domestic abuse storyline by providing a long-awaited update about his mother, Eileen Grimshaw. As regular viewers of the ITV soap will already be aware, Todd has been enduring months of domestic violence at the hands of his partner, Theo Silverton. But it was only this week, following a particularly brutal attack, that he finally found the strength to report the abuse to the police. In an emotional and powerful episode aired on Wednesday, April 15th, which focused heavily on this storyline, Todd was shown at the police station having his injuries officially documented as part of the investigation. During this moment, he made eye contact with another victim of domestic abuse who was being escorted through the station by Jess Haywood, and the encounter visibly affected him as he recognized the shared trauma between them. The woman appeared shocked by Todd's condition, while also bearing injuries of her own, creating a poignant and sobering moment that highlighted the broader reality of abuse. Todd then went on to give a detailed account of his experience to Kit Green and Lisa Swain, explaining the full extent of the physical and psychological abuse he had suffered. He also revealed the existence of secret camera footage that he had recorded in an attempt to prove what had been happening behind closed doors, noting that the late Billy Mayhew had been the only other person aware of the recordings. However, Todd explained that Theo had manipulated and edited the footage in such a way that it made Todd question himself and appear to be at fault, further demonstrating the extent of the control and manipulation involved. While Todd was giving his statement at the station, events were unfolding elsewhere on the street, where Gary Windass confronted Theo and threatened him with a wrench, ultimately forcing him into a van and driving him to the police station. Upon arrival, Theo was arrested by Kit on charges including assault, occasioning actual bodily harm, and false imprisonment, before later being questioned by Lisa about his actions. During the interrogation, Theo attempted to deflect blame onto Todd, even suggesting that their treatment of each other had been mutual, but he was nevertheless held in custody overnight. Meanwhile, Todd was taken to the hospital for treatment, where it was revealed that he had sustained serious injuries, including a lacerated spleen and internal bleeding. In the following episode, aired on Thursday, April 16th, Todd's friends and loved ones, including Sarah Platt, were horrified to learn that Theo might soon be released, as the police required additional time to gather sufficient evidence, particularly the crucial video footage Todd had mentioned. In an attempt to help, Sarah tried to obtain the evidence herself, but her actions backfired when she was caught by Theo and subsequently reported to the police, complicating the case further. Feeling guilty, Sarah later visited Todd in the hospital, where she apologized sincerely in front of George Shuttleworth, who was visibly angry with her for jeopardizing the situation. Although Sarah expressed that she would understand if Todd never wanted to speak to her again, he responded calmly, saying it was okay, before heartbreakingly admitting that he believed Theo would once again escape punishment. Despite George's attempts to reassure him that the ordeal was over, Todd expressed deep fear and despair, stating that Theo would not stop until he had completely broken him emotionally and psychologically. In Friday's episode, which aired on April 17th, Todd was discharged from the hospital and returned to his former home at No. 11 Coronation Street, where he was cared for by George, Christina Boyd, and Mary Taylor. During these scenes, Todd decided to call his mother Eileen, who had left Weatherfield the previous year to start a new life in Thailand, in order to inform her about everything that had happened. After finishing the call, Todd revealed that Eileen had reacted with intense anger upon hearing the news, expressing a desire to immediately return and confront Theo herself. However, Todd acknowledged that while her reaction was understandable, her involvement could potentially escalate the situation further, suggesting that her return might ultimately make matters worse rather than better. Coronation Street viewers believe they have worked out Summer Spellman's next move as the show builds toward a dramatic storyline in which a murder is set to take place on the cobbles. fans are increasingly convinced that Summer may be preparing to take decisive and possibly dangerous action, especially with a special episode approaching in which one character is expected to be killed. Over the past few months, Summer has been left emotionally devastated following the sudden and tragic death of her father figure Billy, an event that has deeply affected her mental state. However, her situation has worsened even further after another shocking development earlier this week when her other father figure, Todd Grimshaw, was brutally attacked and later rushed to hospital in a serious condition. Weatherfield has recently been at the center of intense drama following the announcement of a major murder mystery storyline, which has heightened suspense among viewers. 5 key characters have been identified as being at risk, including Carl Webster, Theo Silverton, Megan Walsh, Maggie Driscoll, and Jody Ramsey, all of whom are currently involved in explosive and interconnected plots. As the storyline progresses, viewers have been carefully watching each of these characters, trying to piece together clues ahead of the shocking death that is set to occur next month. In recent episodes, fans have been drawn into a powerful and emotional narrative as Todd finally found the courage to speak out about the months of abuse he endured at the hands of Theo. From the beginning, audiences saw Todd fall deeply in love with Theo, the seemingly charming builder who had recently arrived on the street, only for that relationship to gradually turn into something much darker. Over time, viewers witnessed Todd's mental and physical well-being deteriorate significantly as a direct result of Theo's controlling and abusive behavior. This week marked a major turning point in the storyline when Todd appeared at Sarah Platt's flat covered in blood, clearly recognizing that he could no longer endure the situation and urgently asking her to take him to the police station. In particularly powerful scenes, Todd was shown walking through the station, making eye contact with other individuals who were also victims of domestic abuse, highlighting the wider impact of such experiences. Meanwhile, Todd's close friends and supporters have become increasingly determined to seek justice and hold Theo accountable for his actions. Among them, Summer appears to be especially affected and angered by Theo's behavior, with her emotions intensifying as the truth continues to emerge. Her anger has only grown stronger after Carl suggested that Theo may also have been responsible for Billy's death, adding another layer of pain and betrayal to the situation. This revelation has led many viewers to question whether Summer might be capable of going to extreme lengths, including potentially committing murder, as part of her desire for revenge. Given that Theo has caused harm to 2 of the most important people in her life, it would not be surprising if Summer felt compelled to take matters into her own hands. As tensions continue to rise, the question remains whether Summer will act on her emotions or whether events will take an entirely unexpected turn in the lead-up to the show's dramatic murder storyline.